costing profit is the ending inventory fixed manufacturing overhead. That's it. Right? Better if I remove all the here and you can compare right now. Any question regarding about this example? 7.2.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
So we made a mistake after, okay, sales minus the variable expenses, and in our case, variable expenses was like 120,000, which wasn't right. Could you repeat that?
You know what? What did you make a mistake here? When you included already 460, right? For variable costing, it already included here. Let me show you 7.1 and right? Variable manufacturing 40, right? I think you made a double mistake. Let me erase all. So we find it out that the variable costing is 460. 460 multiplied by 225. That would be your cost of goods sold according to variable costing, right? And then 225 multiplied by this 20 would be your variable selling. So your answer is 120,000. How did you calculate that, Ayana?
We just added everything, like variable cost per unit.
No, you cannot add like just like that. Even if you add like that, even then it's not 120,000.
I don't know how we do that.
If you add everything here, right? This is 480. Even then, if you multiply this with 225, answer would be the same.
We multiplied it by 250.
Not 250. Remember, the CGS is opening plus production or purchases minus closing. Opening is 0, right? Produce 250. Closing 25. Answer would be 225, which is equal to units sold.
Yeah, okay.
Not 250. Remember this one, this concept to find out CGS. If you are not given the CGS, then use the unit sold. Otherwise, calculate through this, which is 99.9% cases is equal to the unit sold. Right, Ayana? It's not 250.
Okay, I got it now, sir. Thank you.
Leo, understand? William?
Yes, understand.
William?
Yeah.
Camila, Crystal?
Yes, understand.
Sunho, Stella?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you, sir.
Let's take a break and then we start from here. We're having a 10 minutes break. Hello class and welcome back after a short break. Here we go. So the next thing is, next learning objective is reconcile variable costing and absorption costing net operating incomes and explain why the two amount differs. So we already discussed that the difference is between fixed manufacturing overhead. We already talked about that, but we have a separate learning objective, so we'll just go through that. So if you see the comparison of two methods here, so you see here in absorption costing, variable fixed expenses, manufacturing overhead, and fixed manufacturing overhead, they are like this. ending inventory, on cost of goods sold, ending inventory. So the difference is, here we go, right? So if you see the variable costing, variable manufacturing overhead and fixed manufacturing overhead. In cost of goods sold, we do not include fixed manufacturing overhead here. Rather, we treat it as period expense. So you see the difference here. If you see the total difference here is the 150,000. And why is that? Because we excluded the effect of fixed manufacturing overhead. You see, we did not include fixed manufacturing overhead in ending inventory, neither we include the fixed manufacturing overhead in cost of goods sold here in variable costing. So that's why the difference is 150,000, right? So if you pay close attention here, what happened here? The way we treated fixed manufacturing overhead, it causes the difference in our costing methods, both costing methods. So you see here, absorption costing, it treated the manufacturing overhead as product cost. So it is not appeared here in period cost. The variable expense, so the variable costing method, it treated the fixed manufacturing overhead as a period cost. So the difference in these two methods is the treatment of fixed manufacturing overhead. One method treated it as period cost, other is treating it as a unit cost, right? So the difference between the profits are also because of fixed manufacturing overhead on ending inventory. That's it. So if we divided the fixed expense by number of units, 6 per unit, 6 per unit multiplied by the ending inventory, it will lead you 30,000, which is the difference between the profits of absorption costing and variable costing. And now let's talk about the year two. What happened? The year one, in year one we sold 20,000, and year two we sold 30,000. So year one we have 5,000 beginning inventory that is carried out from our previous year. So this year we are also produced 25,000 units. And now what happened to the sales, to the income statement of both absorption costing and variable costing? So let's see that. All the data is the same. We have $16 as absorption costing, 10 is the variable costing for unit costing. Here we go. Right? So absorption costing, the unit cost is 16. Variable costing, the unit cost is 10. Now let's make the absorption costing income statement. Sales, now we are selling 30,000. Our sales are 900,000. Less cost of goods sold. Now cost of goods sold is equal to beginning plus manufacturing minus ending. We don't have ending, we do have beginning. So you can say that beginning plus production minus ending, answer is 30,000. 30,000 multiplied by the absorption costing per unit cost 16. Answer is 480,000. If you are not comfortable with these, terminologies and numbers, just remember that cost of goods sold, opening, that is opening plus production or purchases minus closing. 30,000 multiplied by the absorption costing per unit cost, which is 16. 480,000. So what is the gross margin? 900,000 minus 480,000, answer is 420,000 as gross margin. And from gross margin, less all the fixed and variable expenses here. It's already given over there. Except one thing is that now the variable expense is on 30,000, not the 20,000, because we sold 30,000. 190 is our total selling and admin expense. So you see the profit is 230,000. Now let's talk about the variable costing. Sales minus all variable cost. Sale minus all variable cost. Sales 900,000, right? We do have 30,000 as a CGS multiplied by the variable costing per unit cost, 300,000 here, right? So 300,000, here is that, the cost of goods sold, plus the variable cost. 3 per unit multiplied by the unit sold, 90,000. So here we go. 390 is our total variable cost. When you less it, it will be contribution margin of 510,000, less all the fixed expenses here. 150 as a manufacturing overhead fixed expense, fixed selling and admin 100,000. So you see something here, 260,000. Now this is again the magic. In first year, when we do have our ending inventory, our variable costing profit was less than absorption costing. But now when we do not have any ending inventory, the variable costing profit is higher than the absorption costing. 230,000 is the profit of, if I just go back here, 230,000 is the absorption costing profit, right? And if you see the difference is again 30,000. 260 minus 230, answer is 30,000. It means that difference is carrying forward from our previous fixed expenses multiplied by 5,000 ending inventory. Right? Like we told that the difference between the difference between absorption costing and variable costing profit is because of ending inventory fixed manufacturing overhead. That's it. You see here, fixed manufacturing overhead cost released from the inventory. That's it. Now let's compare this method. In first period, when we do have, let me write it down. When we have ending inventory, absorption costing income is greater than the variable costing. You see here 120,000 and 90,000. In second period, when we do not have ending inventory, our absorption costing income is less than our variable costing. And if you add both period income remains the same, 350,000, 350,000. So what did you learn from here? Minsu.
The totals are staying